Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. What's going on with y'all? Yeah, you see the post. You see the headline on the live today. Yeah, you see the post. And I'm see if I can get a couple people on before I tell you why I'm blaming all the ladies about the situations that's going on. I know it sounds bad, but I think you'll agree with me in the end. So we're gonna see how many people gonna jump on today. And if not, I just talk to myself. And we'll see how that goes. If you're out there, let me know you're out there. Let me know that you're there. But I hope y'all having a good holiday weekend so far. It's Sunday afternoon. It's hot outside. Weather's pretty nice. It looks like we get clouds that pass through every now and then. How you doing, Miss Cherise? Good to see you on here. Get all you people on here because I got to explain something to the ladies today. So tag your people in this live right here because I need to say something that need to be said. And like I say, it's the ladies' fault, but I think nobody's gonna disagree with what I got to say once I say it. So get all your lady friends, your daughters, your nieces, anybody that may benefit from this. I'm gonna call it a tutorial on how to avoid situations and why the women are at fault for situations like uh, Puffy or P Diddy or Puffy Combs or whatever you want to call itself, and also with a situation like R. Kelly, and it kind of goes for all the people, mainly for toward the men who have little a couple dollars in their pocket, and it's the latest fault. It's the latest fault. That's what's happening, and let's see. All right, she done. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Mr. Reeves. Appreciate that. So, um, again, just look quick. Um, Live today. I know I hadn't done the show in all week, and tomorrow's a holiday, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do the show tomorrow night. So I wanted to jump on tonight, today, just to kind of give you guys some insight on what's going on with the situation right now. P Diddy is in the news heavy right now. He's in the news because of the obvious. He's in the news because he has been caught red-handed in his abuse of a female, and this abuse the what's on video took place in like 2018, somewhere in there, 2018, I believe it was. So it's not something that just started. It's not something that happened yesterday, and it was the first time it happened. It's been something that's been going on for quite some time. P. Diddy is not the only person that is accused of these type of things. We got R. Kelly sitting in prison for the same type of situation. We even have people like Epstein, and it's not just black people; there's white people as well. Um, we had Epstein that was accused of abuse of minors and this, that, and other, and he went to jail and actually killed himself in jail. And you got Epstein is his name. I think Weinstein has been put on trial and found guilty of the same type of activities and this, that, and other. Um, you got Bill Cosby, who was put on trial and found guilty and did some time and, got out on a technicality, got out of prison on abusing women. And the list goes on and on. And one of the things that out of the people that I just named, one of the things that all those people have in common is that all of them are rich. All of them are rich. However, this happens to people who don't have as much money as the Cosbys and the Kellys and the Puff Daddies and the Epsteins and the Weinsteins and all those folks. The Trumps, because Trump is a rapist as well. But we have common folk as well. The little hustlers that hang out on the corner in your city. They are also find themselves in the same situation where it's the ladies' fault because they're abusing people. It's all the ladies' fault. What the hell are you talking about, Gerald? Why are you blaming the ladies? Here's the deal. I put a post the other day on my Facebook page about compromise. And for the ladies, we have too many ladies, too many women who will compromise themselves for somebody who means them no good. They will compromise themselves for someone who have a couple of dollars in their pocket. They will compromise themselves for somebody who is going to pay their electric bill and pay their water bill, or put gas in their car, or buy them that Louis Vuitton purse, or get their hair done, or get their nails done. They will compromise themselves for monetary gain, if you will, or for gifts, prizes, if you will. And I'm tell you a secret about men. It's not a secret because I done said it many times before, and some men might be upset with me about telling what the real is. But you guys know I'm a real person, and I don't parse my words. I don't care what people may think about the things that I say, because what I say is based in truth. Now, for the men, and this is a word of advice for the ladies. 90% of what men do is for the benefit of trying to get a woman or trying to keep a woman. I'm saying that again. 90% of what men do is for the benefit of trying to get a woman or keep a woman. That's why I said it's the women's fault. Men would not do 90% of what they do, especially in a negative connotation, the negative stuff that they do. They wouldn't do it if it wasn't allowed to happen by women. That's why I say it's the women's fault. Puff Daddy situation. I'm blaming the woman. Not saying the woman is the villain. Not saying the woman is the bad person. Not saying that it's the perpetrator. But I'm putting the blame on the woman because the woman allowed that behavior. The woman compromised herself to be put in that situation to where she was subjected to that type of behavior. And they did it because the person had a couple dollars. They compromised themselves because of somebody who had a couple dollars in their pocket. So what I'm saying here, and again, this is advice for the ladies. If you hold yourself at a higher regard, if you hold yourself at a higher standard, 9 times out not going to be subjected to the negative behavior and the negative actions of a man. If you allow a man to do something, particularly, and I'm talking about mistreatment at this point in time. I'm talking about mistreatment in the form of abuse, whether it's verbal, physical, mental abuse. If you allow it to happen, a male is going to capitalize on that repeatedly. They're going to see what your weakness is. They're going to see what the limits are based on your reaction to what they do. They know just how far they can go with the mental, the physical abuse. They know that they're going to find out if they can call you out of your name, what words they can and cannot say. Because once they say it the first time, if the reaction is not swift enough or harsh enough for them not to say it again, then they're going to repeat it and they're going to do it again. And once they say it the second time, and the reaction or the consequences is not to level to where that, I hate to use the word gentleman at this point, but for that man, if it's not, the consequences is not at the level to where that man feel that it's a threat to you staying or leaving, now you done open the door for him to continue this type of behavior. I've always said that if a man hits you once, he'll hit you twice. And I believe that. I'm not saying it's true in every case. I'm not saying that there has never been one to a man that hit a woman one time and then never did it again, because I'm sure it is. I'm sure somebody out there that's in that situation. But for the most part, if a man hits a woman, if you do it once, he'll do it twice. If you do it twice and is allowed after that second time, then you are in for a lifetime of physical pain, because the physical abuse is going to continue. Once that man put his hand one time, that should be the end of that particular relationship. Because if it's not, you're putting yourself in position for it to happen a second time. And again, I know there's some people out there that I've been hit once and probably haven't been hit again. And then I'm going to add the word yet. I pray that it doesn't happen again, but I have to be pessimistic in this particular situation and think that it will happen again, based on the nature of a man who has that ability to put their hands on a woman. Now, I have, speaking for myself, at my age, I'm an old man, been around for a little while. I have never, and I repeat again, I have never raised my hand to a woman. And my plan is to leave this earth and be able to say that on my final day, that I have never raised my hand to a woman. Now, granted, some men are put in situations where it's a life or death type situation. Now, if it's a life or death type of situation, that's a whole different ball game, if you will. Because if my life is in danger and I have to use reasonable force to make my life last a little bit longer, regardless if it's a male, female, transgender, gay, bi, white, black, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do what I have to do in order to prolong my own life if I feel that my life is in jeopardy. That's a whole nother ball game. That's a whole nother subject, whole nother scenario, if you will. But you'll never see or hear me talk about I raised my hand to hit a woman because she didn't do what I wanted her to do, or she made me mad, or she, she was talking to this person, she was talking to that person. No, I'm not gonna put my hands on nobody, like, especially a woman. But anyway, if you're just joining me, I'm talking about blame being put on the woman. It's the woman's fault that P. Diddy is doing what he's doing. It's the woman's fault that R. Kelly is doing what he's doing. And I'm saying that because men will only do what the woman allows them to do, give them the green light to do. Women have the power to rule the world. Because, like I said earlier, a man, 90% of what a man does, he does it for the benefit of either getting a woman or keeping a woman. Them fools out there selling drugs, they're doing it because they can get the money and they can be flashy or whatever with the money. And when they have the money, they know that the females are going to react to them and going to migrate toward them because they have a couple of dollars and they can get the dime pieces. They can get the tens. They can get the fine women. They can get the beautiful women, whatever, because those beautiful women are migrating toward those men who got a couple of dollars, who can pay that bill. They can get their hair done in that Louis Vuitton purse, and that they can do that for them. So they're going to migrate to them, and they're going to turn a blind eye to the negative part of that individual. And then as soon as they hit them with the verbal abuse, because 9 times out of 10, the abuse starts with mental and verbal abuse. When I say mental abuse, the mental abuse probably starts first, and the mental abuse is in the form of control, where that man starts to control you, where he starts to tell you what you can and cannot wear, when he starts telling you where you can and cannot go, who you can talk to. You can't hang out with your family. You can't do this. You can't hang out with your friends. No, you're not going to this show with your girlfriend. You home. That's the mental abuse part of it. And then they may start the mental abuse and add on to that with the belittling and telling you that you're not anything, and you can't, you're not good enough to get anybody else, or whatever the case may be. And then it goes from there to the verbal abuse, where you start getting cussed out and you start getting called out your name, and you're all kind of bees and they and hoes and this, that, and other, and once the verbal abuse start, they already controlling you with the mental abuse. And then they can throw the verbal abuse on you, and you still hanging around. You still saying, "Oh, he loves me, and he still does for me, and he's paying this and he's paying that." And once he gets away with that mental abuse, and he see that the limits of the mental abuse is there's no limit, then he see that the limit on the verbal abuse is no limit. Then it's going to escalate, and it's going to turn in. Now it's going to start the physical abuse. First time he just probably snatch you up. He's gonna grab you, and he's gonna grab you by the arm. He's gonna shake you or whatever. He may grab you around the throat and put you against the wall or something, or push you down, or push you whatever. Then that's the beginning. And once he see that he done got away with the mental abuse, he done got away with the verbal abuse. Now I done put my hands on her. I done pushed her. I done choked her. I done grabbed her by the arm. I done shook her. She's still here. Then it goes to a slap, a punch. Then it goes to a kick. Then it goes to a choke. And then it escalates. Then it goes to, well, now that I'm pissed off at you, now we're in a rape type of situation because they mad at you. Then they want to, force sexual activity on you in the heat of the moment after he done punched you in the eye, now they want to rape you. And then you're still there because he has a couple of dollars and he get my hair done, he get my nail done. You know, he's paying this bill, he's paying that bill, you know, he's paying half of my rent, you're doing that or whatever. And you're giving him the okay to continue the abuse. Women, you have the power to control everything that goes on in your life. And one thing that you don't have to put up with is physical abuse. That's one thing you do not have to put up with. Everybody gets mad and you know, yell at each other, especially in relationships. Everybody does that. I don't know a relationship that hadn't got heated to the point to where you're yelling back and forth at each other. But I can tell you this. And I'm just telling you on my side of things from what I've done in my lifetime. I've had heated arguments with my spouse, and I'm currently on my second marriage. My second marriage is with this will be year 24 on my second marriage. This will be year 29 that we've been together. My first marriage went for right at 9 years. So I've had some heated arguments in my days. If I add all the years up that I've been a married man, you know, that's 30, you know, I went to public school, so I can't do the math too quick. 33 years that I've been a married individual. So with that being said, out of all the heated arguments that has taken place in those 33 years of marriage, not even adding the years of courtship and this, that, and other, the 33 years of marriage, I have never, even in the heat of the moment, called either my spouse or girlfriend out of their name. That has never happened. That has never took place. So with that being said, I don't think that it's an excuse for men to call you out of your name. Two, to blame it on the fact that I was mad. I did it because I was mad. Because I done been mad. I done been infuriated. I done been to the point to where, you know, blood vessels could have popped in my forehead or whatever, you know, as far as being mad. But I have never got to the point to where I called my girlfriend or spouse out of their name. I don't like using the B word. I don't like calling people, you know, whores and you know, all that. I don't get into all that. Have I ever used those words? I have used them, but not toward a woman. So women, the point I'm trying to make, women have the power to control their destiny, their own destiny. If you put yourself in a situation and you allow that man to verbally, mentally, and physically abuse you, that's a weak man. And that weak man is going to take advantage of your weakness. And he's going to do it over and over and over again. The Diddy situation, the reason why he was able to get away with it is because he had money. And because he had money, these women would flock to him. And they felt that because he had money, he had status, he had a little clout, he may have connections to, you know, they may have been trying to get to a certain point or a certain place in their careers or whatnot. And, they compromise themselves for someone, to someone who had a little couple dollars in their pocket. I'm glad I don't have any female children. I have 3 boys. I think the creator for allowing me to produce sperm that only had the capability of creating boys. Because if I had a little girl, oh my God, I often wonder what prison I would be in right now if I had a girl. Because there's no way I would allow any man to verbally, mentally, or physically abuse my daughter. And I'm so passionate about that. It's because I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. I saw it firsthand. I saw it happen. And I vowed, even as a kid, I vowed that, one, I would never, ever put a woman in that situation. And I always said if I had a girl, I would make sure that I protect my little girl to where she's not in that type of situation. And I know that I would be in somebody's prison because one of these knuckleheads right here would have been done tried her, and then they would have found out that they tried the wrong one. So I think the creator knew what he was doing when he made sure that I did not produce any female children, because he knew I ain't got. He didn't. He knew I ain't got. He created me. He knew I ain't got. He know I ain't got good sense when it comes to that. And I'm even in a I've been in situations where I won't even. I won't put myself. I had to get to a point where I wouldn't put myself around people um, that wanted to stay in that situation. And when I say people, I mean females, because I can't be around and witness it and not do anything about it. So I've had situations where I was there to witness it and I seen it happen and I responded. I responded. And in my response, it was a physical response. In other words, dude took an ass whipping. And what pissed me off about the matter is when I'm dishing out this ass whooping to this male individual who done put his hand on this woman, and I'm defending that woman by whooping this dude ass. The female who was abused was telling me, stop, don't hurt him. You're hurting him. Now I'm whooping ass at this time. But if I'm at the point to where I'm whooping ass, I'm not paying attention to a whole lot else. I'm just in the ass whooping mode, and nothing else can be said or done until I finalize this ass whooping. But when I got to that point and I realized, okay, I think this person might be at the point to where they might end up on a t-shirt somewhere. Maybe I need to stop at this point. And then when I do stop, then I hear, you hurting them. Stop. The fuck? I'm defending you and you telling me to stop whooping this dude ass that just put his hands on you. I'm risking myself to go to jail and go to prison to defend you, and you telling me to stop, and then you go home with this person, and then you still laying up with this person, and I done risked my life and my livelihood and my family because I'm defending you, and you still with this person. Now, I had to learn the hard way to where if I know you in that situation, and I know you're not going to leave that situation, you're going to stay in that situation, then that means I have to stay away from you. Because if I come around you, that means if some go down, I am obligated to defend you as a woman against a man, another man. I feel that's my obligation. I don't think there's no way I can sit and watch a woman just being abused and not to intercede in some type of way. If it's somebody I don't know, just somebody I just, if I'm walking down the street and I see something, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna do what's necessary to stop it. Um, but I'm still going to intercede. If it's somebody I know personally or somebody that's close to me or whatever the case may be, then I got to go a little bit further with it. So, Miss Sharice, I see your I'm trying to read your comment. It's, I've been listening for the most part, agree in summary. However, I don't fully agree with the suggestion that it's about money because there are a lot of men who don't have money who have abusive behavior. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. And I did preface that earlier. And when I said, I did name the people that had that were millionaires and whatnot, and then I said there were common folk that don't have a lot of money that that women allow them to have that behavior. I did say that earlier. So let me go back and let me reiterate that point. So we'll be clear. And you're exactly right. There are women out there that are allowing themselves to be subjected to that type of abuse, and that man ain't got a dime in his pocket. That man is sitting at your house playing PlayStation while you're at work, and you're allowing this man to abuse you for whatever reason. There's women out there who are, got men that don't have a dime in their pocket, don't have a job, driving the woman's car, dropping them off at work, and they go back home and they playing PlayStation, and then they, you find out you got somebody else in the car, driving somebody else around in your car while you at work working to take care of this fool. And, and women have the right, they have the power to stop all of that. You guys have the power to stop that. Men wouldn't do it if it wasn't allowed by women. If it wasn't acceptable for women, men wouldn't do 90% of the dumb shit that they do, especially when it comes to abuse. They wouldn't do it if it wasn't allowed. So my plea today to women, is, and like I said, all this is sparked by the situation and this, that, and other, whatever the case may be, because that's been prevalent in our news cycle lately. And it seems like more and more women are coming out the woodwork and saying that, I was a victim and this, that, and other. And I know there are many victims out there. There's no doubt in my mind in this situation, just like with R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, or whatever. I know for a fact there are many, many victims out there. However, you can't, when you use that word victim, you have to be very careful, very, very careful when you use that word victim. Because you're not a victim if you are willingly doing something. And I know there's a lot of debate that can go on with that statement, but you're not a victim if you are doing something willfully. That don't mean that it's not abuse. That doesn't mean that it's may not be immoral, but you're if you're doing it willingly, it's hard to put the abuse tag or victim tag if you're doing it willingly. Willful acts can lead to abuse and does lead to abuse. But ladies, you have to value yourself more. When it comes to these gentlemen that have a couple of dollars in their pocket or whatever, and you're latching on to these people, or you're migrating to these people just because they have money and what you think they can do for you because they have money or whatever case may be, then you've taken the wrong route. And I'm gonna say this because I'm talking to grown folks. I don't have any kids on my feed or whatever. I don't put kids on my Facebook. So I'm talking to grown folks right now. And for you ladies, another thing that you're driven by and you're willing to compromise yourself over is dick. Again, we grown folks. We can talk about it. Just because he dicking you down, don't give him the right to abuse you. Don't give him the right to call you bitches and hoes. Don't give him the right to put his hands on you. But you keep that man may not have a dime in his pocket, may not have nothing to contribute to a relationship. And I'm not talking just monetary, just money. I'm talking just a intellectual position, from a moral standpoint, from a security standpoint. It may not have nothing to offer, but he's dicking you down, and you stay in that position. All dick ain't good dick. Vice versa. All coochie ain't good cooch. Goes both ways. But this is about the latest today. You get your segment later. But this is all about the ladies right now. So, ladies, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. You have to make sure that when you get involved with a man, that they know what you are not willing to put up with. You need to let them know up front what your boundaries are, what your limitations are, what your red flags are. You have to let them know up front. If you do this, I'm out. If you do this, I'm out. I don't tolerate this. I don't do this. You have to set the parameters in regards to the relationship that you want. Because, I do it as a man. I set the parameters as far as what I want and what I don't want and what I will do or what I won't do, whatever case may be. I'll let you know up front what I agree with and what I don't agree with. Luckily, I haven't had to deal with that situation in years because, I've been married for 24 years. But when I was out there, I let people know what my boundaries was, what my red flags were, what my limitations were. You have to set the standard. All this dumb shit that these men are doing, you can stop it. You can prevent it. You have the power. So if it continues and it goes on, I have to blame you as a woman. I have to put the blame on you because you have the power to stop it. And that's not a negative thing when I say I blame you. I'm not putting that in a negative type connotation. I'm trying to instill that in you because of the fact that you can control it. Don't stay in a bad situation just because of how much money somebody got in the pocket, of how they land pipe or whatever. Don't stay in. That's not healthy. no matter how you look at it. If right now, if somebody's listening to me and they're in abusive situations, particularly in a physically abusive relationship, way out. Find your way out. Do what you have to do to get out of that relationship. If you with a man that, and especially if he done moved in your spot, and he in your spot abusing you, that's a no. Get this man out of your spot. If you're in his spot, find a way to get out. Find someone, a family member, whoever the case may be, that's willing to put up with you for a minute, whatever. Or if you have the means and the finances to go and leave and get your own spot, get out of that situation, because that man is going to love you to death. And I mean that literally. I mean that literally. He's going to love you to death. You got to stop believing the fact that when this man say, I hit you because I love you. I act this way because I love you. Love should not hurt. Love should not hurt. Let me say that again. Love should not leave physical markings on your body. Love should not leave strangulation marks around your neck. Love should not leave black eyes and swollen jaws, bullet wounds, stab wounds. That's not love. And if anybody inflict any of these type of injuries on you and then turn around and say that they love you and then turn around and lay up with you, that's just, in my eyes, that's just foul. I can't even envision laying up with somebody that I just punched in the eye, that I just kicked, that I done called a bitch and a hoe and a slut. Now, if I done called you all that and then I lay up with you, what is that saying about me? I'm calling you all these bad things and saying all these terrible things about you and this, that, and other, and then I sit and I lay up with you. What is that saying about me if that's the case? That's saying that I don't have any morals, any values, any self-worth about myself, because I'm laying up with a person that I think is a bitch and a hoe and a slut, this, that, and other. What is that saying about me? But ladies, I'm gonna advocate for you. I never tell you anything wrong. I for I'm gonna look out for you. I don't care if the men get mad at me or whatever the case may be, because they shouldn't be putting themselves in a situation where they're physically, mentally, or verbally abusing you as a woman. I know we live in a day where everybody wants equal rights and this, that, and other, and that's fine. But nobody deserves to take a ass whooping, or nobody deserves to be controlled, or nobody deserves to be called anything other than what's on the certificate, or the little cute nickname that judge made you give them. If you're in a relationship with that person, love should not hurt. Love should not leave physical markings on anybody's body. But anyway, I needed to get that off my chest. I need to get that off my chest, and for you out there listening, I encourage you to share this video. Ladies, it's your fault. And it's your fault because you have all the power in the world to let assholes know like P. Diddy and R. Kelly that they cannot do what they're doing. You have the power to control that. You have the power to stop it. Don't put yourself in position to be abused. Don't put yourself in position to be mistreated. Don't keep going back to your abuser. It goes deeper, I'm not going to get into this psychological damage that I feel comes from particularly childhood years, to where it contributes to the relationships that women have as adults because of the relationship with the father or the lack of relationship with their fathers. I believe that has a lot to do with it, but at the same time, you can change that. Even though you may not have had a productive or a good relationship with your father, or whatever the case may be, your father may have been absent, whatever, you don't have to fall into the status quo. You don't have to fall into uh, the norm, if you will, because most of the time they say, women that don't have a father figure, or grow up without a father, this and another, or abusive father, tends to seek that type of man once they become an adult, or teenager, and get in these relationships, and they mimic their relationships after the type of relationship that they had with their fathers. You can break the cycle. You can definitely break the cycle. I know in my household, I broke the cycle, meaning that I seen the abuse. I witnessed it. I heard it. I saw it. I could have grew up to be the same way. I could have made the choice to where, okay, that this is what I see. So this has got to be the norm. This has got to be the way that I'm supposed to be. This got to be what I'm supposed to do when I'm in this relationship. And I can't get this woman to do what I want to do, and I gotta slap her, go upside her head, and this and I've seen that, and I could have continued the cycle, but I made a conscious choice even as a kid. I was a kid when I made this choice, and I stuck to that choice as an adult. I chose not to reciprocate and duplicate what I saw. And ladies, you can do the same. Don't duplicate it. Don't allow it to be duplicated. You have the power. I'm going to advocate for you. I'm going to be there for you, and I'll always speak positive to you. Um, I always look out for you, because I think we need to treat each other, particularly our women. We have to nurture, and we have to help our women. We can't be physically abusive to our women. Women are the backbone of this earth, and women have to realize that they are the backbone of this earth. They are the backbone of society. And a lot of women don't realize that. They don't understand the magnitude of that statement, of them being the backbone, and they allow themselves to just be submissive targets. So my hope and my wish is that all will be well for those in a situation. My hope and my wish is for you to get out of that situation. Do what you need to do to get out of that situation. Don't, for those women who are seeking relationships or in the process of courting and this, that, and other, set your standards. Let that person know that's trying to court you, or you courting them, or whatever. Let them know what your standards are, your limitations, your you know what you will and will not put up with. Let them know up front. And if they're the type of man that can deal with that, they'll hang around. And if they're the type of man that, well, I need somebody I can control, or whatever, they hopefully they'll go on about their business. But I'm going to advocate for you. I'm going to keep looking out for you. You know, this ain't going to be, you know, I keep speaking out for you guys. This ain't the first time. It won't be the last time. So, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. For those who are off tomorrow, on Memorial Day, have a safe holiday. You know, the police out there deep. So be careful, be mindful, be smart. You know, don't go out there drinking and doing that and other and getting driving. You know, a tow truck is cheaper than a DUI. You know, Uber is cheaper than a DUI. So don't go out there doing things stupid. I know it's Sunday night, people partying because they ain't got to get up and go to work in the morning. And be safe out there, people. And you ladies, be smart. You deserve better if you're in a bad situation. You definitely deserve better. Treat yourself better. That way other people will treat you the same way. But anyway, I'm out of here. You guys have a good evening. I'm out.